I go to Your Excellency. Could you please share with us from your experiences in Ghana, what are some very impactful collaborations that you have seen within your country, between countries and different sectors that you could speak to?
Thank you. So let me start by saying that in Ghana, we have about 40% access to clean cooking. And of that 40%, in the urban areas constitutes 45% LPG access, and unfortunately in the rural areas it's about 8%. Now we're trying to improve that, so we have the national cylinder recirculation model, which aims to increase penetration by 70% by the year 2030 and double the rural numbers, increase it by 50%. We also have established 2 test labs for cook stoves and clean cooking fuels with the support of the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, and the Clean Cooking Alliance. Ghana also has adopted 3 ISO clean cook stoves and clean cooking standards, as well as the National Clean Cooking Strategy and Investment Prospectus, which is done with the support of the World Bank. And we've also rolled out the National Just Energy Transition Policy with the support of SE for All. So partnerships are really important, and these are just a few of the partnerships that we've had moving on. But I remember a few years ago when we were convening to discuss Ghana's clean cooking sector and how to move it forward. The question was, where was it going to sit? Because the obvious thing is that it's an energy issue. But as we know now, it's not just an energy issue. It's a health issue, it's an education issue, it's a gender issue, it's a climate action issue, it's an empowerment issue. So we had to bring together all of the ministers of those sectors to have a national clean cooking strategy, because each of their policies impacted that. And that's why we've been able to be successful, because at 40%, we are the highest in West Africa and the 3rd highest in Sub-Saharan Africa. And I'd like to commend the CCA for pushing the delivery units, which are technical support for governments at the highest level, so that we can incorporate all these targets and goals in our national planning and development. And with our collaboration, it has to be international as well. So not just intra, but international. And as I mentioned earlier, we have to share our experiences. I mean, we have to share research and standardization. It's not right, or it shouldn't be, we shouldn't waste time researching what our neighbors have already researched, for example. So it's important that we do that. And of course, private sector investments is what will drive this conversation. We've seen the evolution of technology. We've seen how innovation has driven down prices. And really, the adaptation of these technologies, affordability is at the heart of it. So without being able to afford it, people cannot adopt the technology. So it's important to encourage, incentivize private sector so that they can continue to innovate to drive down the prices. And of course, the development agencies should also play a coordinating role. But what is really, really at the heart of what I do, and I've been at this for several years, is that we need to honor our commitments. We come to conference after conference and summit after summit, and there are pledges and there are commitments that are announced to wide applause, thunderous applause, and everybody's excited, and then nothing, or precious little. And we really hope this will be the last summit that will be had. So the commitments must be honored. And finally, let us treat this subject as an urgent matter, because it is urgent and we need to act now. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I think it's an excellent point, and why it's so great to hear that the IEA indeed will be tracking these commitments, and that we can look forward to hearing where they are and how they were dispersed and what happened and what the impact was. So I do think it's really important that we all collectively hold each other accountable for what was promised today, because the promise is nothing without the delivery, as we all know.